is a father, an author, a songwriter, a musician, and a producer. His son is a professionally spoken word artist, an author, and musician. Today, I talk one-on-one with the father and son duo, Jonathan and Christian Morant, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Jonathan and Christian Morant, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
The duo.
Yeah.
Trio. We got the trio.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Needless to say, Jonathan, you are a proud autism father, as you say, on social media. You're also an author, a musician, a songwriter, a producer. And of course, Christian, you are an author, a professional spoken word artist, and a musician, most known for your enthralling level of poetry and advocacy on mental health. So tell me, gentlemen, what's new, what's now with the Morants?
You want to go first, son?
Nah, you go. You take the reins. I'll just hold this.
I'm glad you brought that because I have the book too somewhere around here, and I have his other book. Yeah. So we'll talk about this. So first of all, that's I Belong, the first installment of the Adventures of Roman World series, which is we're going to do as many of these as we can. Children's book series. I wrote it. My son did the illustrations, so we teamed up to bring light to, of course, all the people who sometimes are sidelined or marginalized, but most of all, just humans. We love people, and we love the kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so that's that book. As far as let me circle back because he's showing the books I want to respond. So there's a lot going on. We just did that book. We're going to be working on more stuff. We're doing some shows together, me and Christian. Also, I am, just to speak on me, and then Christian, you speak on you. I'm this year, fingers crossed, we'll be releasing a book that I'm writing with Chef Brett McGee there in Charleston. I'm writing his memoir. And then I also have another project, another book, but also it's in line with the keynote that I'm working on that was inspired by my friend Nina Sossaman Pogue. So, but stay tuned on that. This is in the beginning stages, but it's going to be something very special. So, Christian.
Yeah. My dad he set it up perfectly. We published this book, and I couldn't be more grateful. It's one of those things that I actually I am super proud of, but you know how you set your goals out and your milestones in life? This is one that he brought in that I did not see happening. And I'm very grateful that it happened, and very proud of it. And it's a really cool thing. I actually read part of this to I read the whole thing to some fourth graders in the city a couple weeks ago. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really, really amazing. So I've asked this before, but why I Belong? Why now?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What's so funny? Well, good. It's now that it has come to fruition, or at least began. But it actually started a few years ago. I was still working on my first book, The Happy Has Been, but I was speaking. I was involved in this speaking group with me and again Nina Sossaman and two other wonderful people. A friend of mine, Joe Delagrave, who's an Paralympics, U.S. Olympics Paralympics coach. He's incredible. But anyways, and we were speaking about diversity and inclusion, and diversity, equity, inclusion, by the way, which I'm all for. We'll just leave that right there. But and so we spoke to some some audiences in the HR space, and I noticed everyone had, books, and they were speaking about their kids, and I thought about advocating for children, just being inclusive. I love kids. I love my kids, but I love all children. And so as the things with Roman developed, we kind of put them together, and it culminated just now. And getting my son, of course, on board to do this with me is full circle. I began my father journey, which you mentioned the things that I've been blessed to be involved with, but that's number one. And here it is with my last go at fatherhood. And So it just seemed fitting for being in the autism community, and it just something special. So
Christian?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he hit it on the nail, but particularly, I think it's beyond just now. I think it's our past, our now, our future. And beyond the illustration, it spoke to me a lot because there's there's multiple facets that it covers, and particularly mine was being bullied, and feeling like an outcast and stuff. So it covers that, along with the other elements too. But and then I speak through that through my own work of poetry and music too. So the intertwinings of what my dad and I have going on and what we can do individually is it's immeasurable and it's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm being
It's,
redundant. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, it's very, putting the cap on what you brought about the now part. It is certainly now. It's so funny how this has been an ongoing wave of challenges for decades, for centuries, but it's as now as it's ever been, especially, I don't want to speak politics because whatever with politics, but just in the global, there's a global yearning for everyone to be able to belong. Period. You call it what you want, but no one wants to be an outcast, and it starts with the children. So that just makes and man, if I know one thing, it's kids. So
Yes, sir.
yeah. But go ahead. Sorry, Q.
Oh, no, it's all good. Let me ask you this. What part of the poetry and your music that you all brought from there to this particular book?
Go ahead, Christian.
I'd say, like I kind of maybe delved on, I read a lot from my younger bullied kind of experiences, and what my dad kind of just said, the outcast, not wanting to feel like that. No one should feel like that. So to see it represented in a very digestible and a childlike version like this book isn't just for children. Like, I read this book, you read this book, and we can all relate to it. So that's just a good reminder. And then particularly just the graphic portion was just fun to do.
Yeah. Oh, so there, pivoting. There you go, Q. So that's how we intertwine. Because when me being Christian's dad, I can speak on this. When he was a young boy, a very young boy, even Roman's age now at 7, he was just such a phenomenal artist, sketch artist. So I never forgot that. He ended up doing something with graphics, I think, in school, his older years in school, college years. But it before I went too far, I was like, wait a minute, come on, man, let's do this together. And it just brings obviously a personal joy to me to be able to do this, because inevitably I'm going to write, but to be able to have this experience and share this with my firstborn, my boy, for his little brother, in the name of his little brother. It isn't just for him, because as you'll see, the series will carry on. We'll bring other children, other all kinds of spaces into the series. But as an autism advocate, having him be a part of this, it's just a personal joy. So, and it made sense. As far as music, there's going to be a whole development with that. Music therapy, everyone hears it, that's it. But basically, music is therapy. So we don't have to get too deep into it. Everyone who has ears to hear, to listen to music, will tell you it is therapeutic in one way or another. So it definitely is for my youngest, who gravitates to music. So that's that'll unfold into this whole experience as well.
One thing to touch on the poetry, the mics I go to recently, I bring this book with me, and I show my fellow poets, and they're really intrigued, and they really are like, oh wow, you have this, and they go off to the side to read it for a little bit. So it's really cool to bring it to a scene like that.
Wow, that's really, really amazing. Now that this particular book has been published, what else have you learned more about autism that you didn't know before?
Well, good point. Because now I state this at every chance I get. I don't have any more credentials except that I am I live this experience as a father, and that's, that I live it, and as well as with his mom and the rest of his family and brothers and sisters. So, you know, the book though helps to also, because it's a children's book, so it involves parents reading to their children, or some children reading for themselves, and I've just come to find so much broader community involved in it. Autism, it's said to be 1 in 37 people have some form of, are on the spectrum. So, and then, I'm not the stats guy, although I have people for that and I can bring that. But the point is, it gives another avenue of engagement. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning how there's more people out there who can relate to this and from a positive standpoint, they'll get to see in this light and be involved. This isn't a singular thing. I'm telling you, in the series, we're going to get other families, members, kids, if they want to be involved. Roman and Stephen play at the park, or Roman and Becky go to the zoo, or, so it won't be a standalone, because it's not a standalone. It's a community thing, a global community experience. So.
Oh, absolutely. So, what was it like to read this particular book to Roman?
That's a good one. Okay, so the funny thing is, Roman is he loves what he loves, and he ain't concerned about much else. So it was beautiful. I'll have to send you a clip, but I actually have a clip when I and we were staying here at the hotel when I come to visit him. Yeah. And I got the book from him. I put on this music that I love, a song by Sting, and I was doing this video. I was going to share it. He looked at it and ping, he tossed it. So, but it is totally fine, because I did read it to him. He likes the sound. Again, back to the tone of, he likes that part. One day I imagine maybe it'll connect with him, but I think the connection is just opportunity to do it. But it was the funniest thing, and I enjoy that. And I have had friends who have gotten the book, and actually people I don't even know, who have shared that they've read it to their kids that are younger, or their kids read it, and that they've enjoyed it. That's the cool part. Like what Christian said, it's a children's book, but adults have shared with me how it's touched them. And again, not just about autism. In fact, if anything, this is the platform to go further into that. We didn't really do too much of that. It's more subtle. But parents' involvement has been incredible, and that's what it takes.
And Christian, what is it like to see this parent involvement with this particular book?
Well, my dad said it full circle. It's. Oh, you mean like outside of me and him?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Especially, I think maybe some of the heaviness that comes from. I'm not a parent, obviously, but I'm very empathetic. I think it can alleviate some of the worries that you're not alone, and that there's hope for a better world for their kid, and then for the kids, I very like my dad loves kids. I love my sisters, my brother, and then kids out in the world. To be able to see hope that there's not like a darkness looming over them is a beautiful thing.
What is that one darkness that you hope that will be removed from the world of autism?
Is that for me? Or
Christian? Yeah, anybody. Yeah, anybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
You take it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll both. Here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
And I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to speak personally because Roman.
Yes, sir.
But I've seen it in this space. The darkness, the darkness that could be, or that does exist out there. The truth is, Roman's smile, it cuts through it all. And what that lets you know something, it triggers something, it lets me know that, wait a minute, we might have this backwards a little bit, and I do believe we do. I think we take on the pain and the struggle, and it is challenging as a parent because there's different emotions, different real physical challenges, as well as navigating the systems that we have to go through. However, from a heart standpoint, from a human being, from the soul of a child, of an individual, there I have seen more light in the smile of Roman and other children on the spectrum. It cuts through all our bullshit to point blank. And the thing about that is, if we lean into that part, that's my, again, I don't there's other people who have roles in the autism community to play. But I think as a parent, and in my particular space, is that happiness, is that same happiness factor. It's there, and it permeates anyone who comes near an individual that's on the spectrum. It's there. I'm sure anyone that's listening, I guarantee a light bulb goes off. You know what? Yes, there's a joy. There's something that's there. So lean into that part of it. If we get to that part, that'll help us to marshal on a lot stronger. Like, we lean into that. Don't lean into the tough parts, and that'll remove the potential darkness or the looming darkness that could be.
Christian?
Yeah, I kind of lean into what my dad said. Mine, I'd say, and it's kind of a perspective flip of like, don't, they're not different. Don't point the finger. They're not different. Maybe we're different, but really we're all like the same. We're just, how do we navigate it? So it's a little bit, again, there's difficult because there's differences. Like my dad said, there's a system we're in. Well, what's their system? So yeah, kind of mitigating that difference.
And gentlemen, let me ask you, I thought about that when Christian was talking about this, but how were you all able to navigate, autism through that particular system before the book and before music and obviously poetry?
Hey, I said this in my second book, Letters to My Son, Roman.
Oh, yes.
And I point blank said that, I've always had an affinity, a heart, an empathetic quality like Christian. I think it's in the blood. Most humans do, but I lean into it. It's emotional. Romanticism, writing songs it kind of brings that out of me. But I've always had a love for people with challenges. We all have challenges, but I mean particularly people who are disabled or who are marginalized. But it would seem from the outskirt. I've dealt with the stuff just like you or anyone else. But when Roman came, he is my son. He is in our family. He's in our world 24/7. Oh, it's a whole nother realization, and it opens up a whole new experience. But again, I don't want to belittle or demean or dismiss the challenges because they are real. But I'm here to speak from a different vantage point, and what Christian said, there is something beautiful. I've actually gained life by this experience. He has brought life. This community has brought life to me that I thought I understood, but now I'm really starting to understand better. And we need to look inside ourselves. We need to operate from a standpoint, not them. He doesn't need to change anything. What we need to do, we need to operate and get into their world. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how it'll lift you up and also inspire you. Because that's what we're here to do. We got to inspire each other and lift each other up. We can get inspired in this space, So I would say that's, I'm learning, man. That's what it is. And that's what this is helping. This is helping the process. Yeah. It's definitely helping my writing, man. I have to go in,
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about you, Christian?
Frankly, I kind of forgot the question. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'll ask you this, Dan. In this particular book, besides Roman, of course, who is the real life character, I believe. Who else has actually inspired you from this particular book?
Outside the book or in the book?
In the book.
In the
Yeah,
book?
oh, yes,
oh,
sir.
like the characters?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I have my visually like fun ones. Well, actually, one of the most iconic ones I think anybody who picks this up is this image right here.
Yeah.
Very what's it called? Not distinct. Kind of I don't know the correct verbiage, but there's a lot just by this one image. So this little girl, this little redhead, and just I don't know. They all do, man. They all have their qualities, and it's a very eclectic, like the world. There's and actually a poet friend of mine who I showed this right before he went on stage, and he said he really enjoyed how it's not just one or a couple of colors, that it's shades of colors, because that's what people are. And I really took that away from him. And he's a really shout out. His name's the artist Anubis. He's an incredible poet up here, and he really admired that. So I took that away from him. That was literally just a couple days ago. So I like them all. All the characters are cute and fun.
The idea is
Yes, sir.
unique. See, it's all love. It's love based. That is the engine behind this, behind my experiences, behind us as a family, behind hopefully this globe we're on right now. Love. And it's unique love, different love. It's okay to love different. It's okay to have different love, because when you think about it, we all have a different love. That's just how it is. So embracing that, I like that. There's different shades, not colors. We pigeonhole black, white, this and that. Man, there's such a sweeping wave from one aspect to another in terms of colors, in terms of tones, in terms of sound, in terms of everything. Not to be too ethereal, but the point behind it is, in simple terms, the belong part. It all belongs.
Mm-hmm. It just occurred to me that I think the little girl, even though she's crying, just kind of reminds me of Savannah when she was younger. She's little. Savannah's like the little one of our gang, so I don't know why.
That's funny. Oh, she gonna get you if she sees this, because she ain't little now.
She ain't little anymore.
She's chops now.
Yeah, she's not little anymore. Yeah, she's not little anymore. But yeah.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this, gentlemen. With I Belong, do you see yourselves transforming this book into a film at some point?
Oh, I love movies. I love film. So
cartoon. That is definitely the next step. I see just a cartoon series to go with the book. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that'd be super cool. I don't necessarily have the chops, I think, for that animation. This it was a lot to kind of illustrate this, but
yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's okay. Cool. We got friends.
Yes, it'd be cool.
Oh man, that'd be amazing, and even maybe a music playlist. I don't know.
Oh, I like that. Maybe we need to collaborate with you on some ideas, Q. That's good.
Speaking of playlists, you can listen. You can listen to my song "Splash." That might be the theme song. It's off my album "I'm Not a Rapper." So me and my dad were actually talking about that. We might use that. Who knows?
That's right. Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I want to see that happen. Yes, indeed. Well, Jonathan Morant and Christian Morant, father and son, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Love you, Q. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome. And how can people
be safe in New York?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
what were you saying, Quinn?
And how can people purchase the book?
Oh yeah, you can go online.
Amazon. Jump right into Amazon, and we'll have it on our website. TheHappyHasbeen.com is mine. I think Christian's is ChristianMorant.com.
Yep. ChristianMorant.com.
Social medias. It's everywhere. There'll be a series. The series is formulating. The writing is going on. Yep. It'll be an ongoing thing along with everything else. Stay tuned. We have so much more in store. We have plenty of a lot. Q, we're gonna be back.
Yeah. Oh yes, I'll be right here.
Oh yeah,
God willing. Yes.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Yeah. Create. I love it.